Hello enjoyers, welcome to the 5th episode of the Medieval Adventure series. In this video you can see I returned to the landscape because it didn't work well, and also that fault in the landscape, it must be moved. So I returned and changed the location of that fault to make sure that it is on the correct place. Also I changed the resolution to 1K because 500 was not enough. Hey, if you want to support my channel or get access to my assets and projects from the videos, you can go to my Patreon page and subscribe here. Currently I have here car assets for car projects. You can get some assets from the space themed game series up to episode 12. There is a lot of stuff. You can get actually 3D model of car with completely rigged and open doors, so it is possible to get. And also you can find some different stuff like character for space shooter or weapons and so on. I would appreciate any support anyway. So let's move to the video. For the next part I faced the issue that I need to actually change sizes of the background landscape. It must be much bigger, so it is also 1K resolution, so I forced to work with the scale. It wasn't that bad, but actually it required some time before I can adjust it correctly. Next part was material of the landscape. So I needed first of all textures, and I was going to create landscape with lawn, mountains, and I needed grass. So I get 5 different type of textures of grass just because unlike different projects, I wanted here very high quality landscape material. Also, I leaned towards Automaterial because I can't just manually paint 2 wall landscapes. So I created Automaterial as well in this video. You can see it later. I created material folder and then folder for outside level because I will have different type of levels, not just one level. And I created then all material functions that required for material because you know it is not that easy to create Automaterial without blending. So first of all I created blending material function. During creation, I faced some problems. First of all, I tried to create a function inputs with strength and fall off. I tried to use the common type of calculation, which is subtract and divide, but it didn't work well. I tried it in the preview and you can see in the screen, the preview wasn't correct. So I changed it into exponential instead of subtract, and instead of divide I used cheap contrast because it is almost the same function for actually creating fall off. So that's my function. Then I also added 2 material inputs to make sure that they will blend it using that mask. And then I moved on to the next function. Then I created height mask just for vegetations, or maybe in the future I will add some snow capes for mountains and it will use actually height mask. It is very easy to create, and here dividing and subtracting works pretty much perfectly. So yeah, that's the function, very easy to do. And I moved on to the last function. And last function may be familiar for you if you are the long time subscriber, because this is actually my advanced material function. First of all, I added texture bombing to avoid tailing. Also I added starter content to get my macro variation and added it as well. Then I added different type of parameters because I need to control my texture, UV, styling, offset. So I need a lot of separate scalar parameters. And because this is a function, I need actually function inputs. So I started to experimenting with numbers to find out what is the better option for me. And then I just created all scalar parameters. By the way, if you're wondering how to create this function or how to create advanced material, I will put my video about this topic. You can check out link in the description and follow the tutorial. I forgot to mention I also added some modification. I added switch parameters for ORD and not ORD type of textures. So for example, if I have packed texture, occlusion, roughness and displacement, I can use ORD. If it is not packed, I have separate part and I can switch parameters. So I have just one checkbox. When I activate it, I can use ORD. If it is deactivated, then I can use separate textures. That's it, very easy. And the last part is material itself. I created 10 layers, 9 for my manual painting and 1 was Automaterial. Creating layers is the same as in advanced material. The actual difference is only in the layer blending with my new masks, which is slope mask and height mask. And that's the actual difference between advanced material and Automaterial. You can also combine them like I did it in the video and get both in the same material. And the last part was blending all materials using slope blend and height mask. And in the Automaterial I used, if I remember correctly, only 5 layers, because I can't use all 5 grass types. I need only 1 grass, 1 mud, 1 gravel, 1 slope. So I don't need to use every single type of grass, and I will use them as manual painting just to make some parts of the landscape kinda diverse. And actually that's it for material. The next step is adjusting created material, but I'm going to do that in the next video, in the next episode. I hope you enjoy, I hope this was interesting. If so, hit the like button, share comments, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Patreon, and ask your questions if you have it. That's it, folks, and see ya!